Have you ever had that strange feeling that something just doesn't add up? Like the version of the world we were all given through textbooks, TV shows, and even our teachers might be missing something big. Maybe even several things? Well, you're not alone. Around the world, more people are starting to ask questions that were once considered off-limits. And the truth is, some of the things we've been taught from day one don't quite match the facts. Today, we're counting down 10 surprising truths that challenge what many of us thought we knew. 10. The Great Wall of China isn't visible from space. For years, kids were told one specific fun fact over and over, that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure visible from space. But that's actually not true. Astronauts have repeatedly confirmed that it's almost impossible to see the wall with the naked eye from low Earth orbit without aid, especially because it blends in with the natural terrain. NASA even addressed this myth directly, stating that other structures like cities, roads, and airports are more visible than the wall. So how did this claim get started? It dates back to a 1932 Ripley's Believe It or Not cartoon. The lie stuck, even though it was never based on science. 9. Einstein didn't win the Nobel Prize for relativity. Albert Einstein is mostly associated with the theory of relativity. His famous equation E=mc² is known worldwide. But here's something most people don't know. Einstein didn't win the Nobel Prize for that. In 1921, he received the award for his explanation of the photoelectric effect, which helped lay the foundation for quantum physics. His theory of relativity was still considered too controversial at the time. Many physicists were unsure about its implications, and the Nobel Committee avoided it. So the very thing Einstein is most famous for wasn't what earned him science's top honor. That's a pretty big twist for one of the most iconic names in history. 8. Vikings didn't wear horned helmets. If you picture a Viking, chances are you're imagining a fierce warrior with a horned helmet. But that image isn't historically accurate. Archaeological evidence shows no proof that Viking helmets had horns. In fact, real Viking helmets were fairly simple and practical, designed to protect, not impress. The horned look was actually popularized in the 1800s by costume designers for operas and stage plays, particularly Wagner's Ring Cycle. That false image became so widespread that it replaced the real one in most people's minds. Today, even schools and cartoons still repeat the horn myth. It's a reminder that our mental picture of the past can be shaped more by art than by facts. 7. Napoleon wasn't actually short. The phrase Napoleon complex gets thrown around to describe someone with a short temper and a short height. But the real Napoleon Bonaparte was actually of average height for his time. He was about 5 feet 6 inches or 5 feet 7 inches in modern measurements. So where did the myth come from? Part of the confusion comes from the difference between French and British units of measurement. Another reason is propaganda. British cartoonists often exaggerated Napoleon's size to make him look weak or foolish. Over time, the joke became part of the legend. It's a great example of how political messaging can reshape someone's legacy entirely. 6. The Middle Ages weren't actually that dark. We've all heard about the Dark Ages, a time supposedly filled with ignorance and no progress. But modern historians now say that's a misleading label. While some regions in Europe did face social and economic problems after the fall of the Roman Empire, others saw major advancements. Universities were founded. Engineering, art, and philosophy developed steadily. Islamic scholars preserved and expanded upon Greek and Roman knowledge, which would later influence the European Renaissance. The idea of the Middle Ages being a backward time was pushed during the Enlightenment period to make modern thinkers seem more advanced. It was more about image than accuracy. 5. Sugar isn't just empty calories, it was a global power tool. Most people think of sugar as something sweet and simple, but historically, sugar played a massive role in shaping global politics. During the 17th and 18th centuries, European powers raced to control sugar-producing colonies in the Caribbean. This led to the expansion of the transatlantic slave trade, with millions of Africans forced into brutal labor on sugar plantations. By 1800, sugar was one of the most profitable goods in the world. It wasn't just a food, it was a force that fueled empires. The sweet taste came at a terrible cost, but this side of sugar's story is rarely mentioned in classrooms. 4. The United States doesn't have an official language. You might assume that English is the official language of the United States, but it's not. The U.S. has never declared an official national language at the federal level. While English is the most widely spoken language, and many government documents are in English, there's no law that makes it official. Some states have chosen their own official languages, and in others, Spanish and even Hawaiian have official status. The reason this fact is often misunderstood is that people confuse practice with law. It shows how easy it is to believe something is true just because it seems obvious. 3. Diamond engagement rings weren't always a thing. Today, it seems like a diamond ring is the only proper way to propose. But this idea is a result of brilliant marketing, not ancient tradition. Before the 20th century, diamond rings weren't common at all. In 1947, the diamond company De Beers launched a now-famous slogan, "A diamond is forever." That campaign was so effective that it created a whole new cultural expectation. In just a few decades, diamond engagement rings went from rare to standard. It wasn't about love or tradition, it was about sales. What's more, diamonds are not as rare as we're told. Their value is carefully controlled through supply manipulation. 2. History books often leave out entire civilizations. Mainstream history focuses heavily on a few dominant civilizations: Egypt, Greece, Rome, China. But there were many others with rich cultures and complex systems that barely get a mention. The Indus Valley Civilization, which thrived around 2500 BCE in present-day Pakistan and India, had advanced urban planning, sewage systems, and writing, but its achievements are often overshadowed. Likewise, the Kingdom of Kush, located in what is now Sudan, ruled over Egypt at one point and developed its own pyramid-building tradition. Many pre-Columbian cultures in the Americas also had complex societies and technologies that are rarely discussed. The limited focus in schoolbooks shapes how we view global history, and what we leave out shapes our understanding just as much as what we include. 1. Memory isn't as reliable as we think. This one might hit close to home. We like to think our memories are like video recordings, solid, trustworthy, and always there when we need them. But modern neuroscience shows that memory is incredibly unreliable. Studies reveal that every time we recall a memory, we slightly change it. Our brains fill in gaps, add details, or even invent parts entirely. That means the stories we tell ourselves about the past might not be accurate, even if we believe them deeply. The implications are huge, not just for personal memories but for eyewitness accounts, historical records, and even what we think we know from experience. If our minds can shape the past so easily, what else are we getting wrong without realizing it? So, what if everything you've been taught really isn't the full picture? Maybe it's not that people were lying on purpose, but that information gets filtered through stories, biases, politics, and mistakes. What we learn depends on who's telling the story and what they want us to believe. That's why it's so important to question things, stay curious, and never stop learning. The truth is out there, but it takes effort to uncover it. If this video made you think differently, even just a little, make sure to hit that like button. Share it with someone who loves facts as much as you do. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more videos that challenge the way we see the world. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.